What's going on, guys? I want to welcome you back. Listen, I've sunk about 15 hours in Marvel Rivals. It's been out for about 20. What is sleep? I don't know. But today we're going to be ranking every single character from best to worst in a way too early first impressions tier list. I've played with every single character. I've played against every single character for a good amount of time, and we're going to rank them all in alphabetical order. Now, we're going to kick things off with the King of Wakanda and start this tier list spicy, guys. I'm actually giving him the lowest ranking of today in F tier. I know some of you guys are offended, but listen, I want to rank him like Genji. He takes a lot of skill. Maybe that, that's how you get him great at the game. The problem is he has one range attack. It's not great. It's on cooldown. On top of that, his DPS is just low. He has no way to deal with flying units. He's just not that good in the game in my first impressions. I'm sure there's some people that are great with him, but he's probably the lowest today. Next up, we go to the tree himself. I am Groot. And listen, I thought Groot at first was like not that great. And then as we were playing more and more skillful players and full team comps, he was getting a lot better. The walls can be very annoying. They have a high health duration. They can punish you if you know what you're doing with them. A bad Groot is almost just an ult battery. You can just kill them and get up your ult. But a good Groot knows what they're doing. I'm going to put him in the B tier, which is about middle of the pack for the tanks. Not a terrible tank, but not the best. All right, that takes us to the next character. Very easy to rank here in Hela. I was just waiting, guys, till we found out the best character in the game, and I think it's gonna be Hela. I've got her in the S tier as one of the best characters, no question. Insane range, great DPS. Her ult is insane as well. Good mobility, and she can get out and escape easily. There's not a lot to hate about her, and there's somebody there in the offices of Marvel Rivals who's clearly a Hela fan. Super strong character through and through and easily in the S tier. Moving right along, guys, we go to the Incredible Hulk, and I'm going to give Bruce Banner an A tier rating. I think he's actually a pretty damn solid tank. Kind of reminds me of Diva a lot within Overwatch. His Hulk forms are annoying. If you kill him, he can escape easily. Even the Bruce Banner form is not terrible, and he seems like he provides a great distraction, but also good tanking and survivability for the team. Overall, I was happy to have him on my team most of the time. He's a pretty solid pick. He's going to go in the A tier, but probably towards the end of A tier. The next Avenger on the list is Iron Man for DPS, and I hate to say it, guys, but I think he's floating. He's either between F or D. I'm going to give him an F tier ranking. I loved Pharah in Overwatch. I thought Iron Man was going to be my go-to. Aerial units right now are going down a peg because of how good Hela is. She punishes a lot. His DPS is solid, but it kind of just feels like he's missing something, if you will. A good Iron Man can do well, but for the most part, he's easy to take care of. He can be a nuisance, but for the most part, you can just ignore him. Like Hela in the air, you got to take care of. Iron Man, not so much. His ult is semi-easy to escape as well. So Iron Man, sadly, probably needs a buff. I'm going to put him in the F here. The rightful king of Asgard, Loki, is our first support character we're going to rank, and I'm going to give him an A tier with the possibility of S, and for the majority of people, probably like D. So there's going to be a couple characters today that have a high skill cap. Loki's the definition of it. There were Lokis that could heal insane, great healing 10 to 20k, and then Lokis that would have 1k healing and 2k damage. Way too much controls, and it probably confused the player. The guy takes a lot of skill to learn and know how to utilize his illusions to the best effect, and really just his entire kit synergizes, but is highly complex. A great Loki can carry. His ult is busted great, but a bad Loki can lose you the game. So I'm going to put him A tier. He probably can make his way up to S eventually. One of the stronger supports. All the supports are pretty good. But Loki, he fluctuates, and for the most part, he's probably bad because the general population's not going to be great with him. We go right to another support in Luna Snow. Yeah, Luna was another tough one to rank, guys. Very solid healing and very quick to get to the ally that you're trying to heal. You have pretty much a lossless healing if you can put like her idol on somebody. She has decent DPS. Her ult is incredible for survival. Not the damage so much, but her healing of the ult is incredible. Her mobility is strong horizontally, but not obviously vertically, so she can struggle with that. Luna seems strong, not busted. I'm going to put her probably towards the end of A tier. All right, we move on to Magik, and I think this is going to be the one that's the most controversial, probably right there with Black Panther. I got to say, there was a couple good Magiks. Most of the time, though, I feel like Magik was bad. I'm going to put Magik at the top of F tier, sadly, and it's because of the melee. She doesn't have great range yet again. Hela just completely wrecks her. Her ult can be scary, but easily taken care of. Her mobility is decent, but again, it's not really up to par with the rest of the characters in the game, at least in my playing. Again, sometimes there's some guys that just wrecked with Magik, but most of the time, didn't feel like she was too impactful and kind of the weakest right there with Black Panther. And we're going to another tank, and this one, good God, we have 2 rankings, okay? We have Magneto, let's get this straight. Magneto paired with Scarlet Witch is a completely different character. Very strong, extremely strong. The team-up ability is cracked. His sword is amazing. He'd probably go in the A tier, but for the most part, an average Magneto, I'm going to put in the C tier. I think he can offer things for the team, but he does feel kind of weak. His ult is easily dodgeable. Sometimes you can get a nice little kill with it, but it's not the most fearful thing in the world. I think the tanks that we're going to rank today do a little bit better in a lot of areas, so I do have Magneto in C tier. Again, unless you're with Scarlet Witch. Next up, we move to Mantis, and when I was first playing, I probably would have put Mantis towards the top. She feels like the most pure healer in the game, but over time, I think the other supports offer a little bit more if you perfect the kits. I think she's good. She has good healing over time. Her self-healing is good. Both easy and hard to play, depending on how you handle the crits and stuff that she can dish out and get more of her life orbs. Overall, though, I'm going to put her towards like the very top of B, right out of A, and that's because I've got a lot of the other supports in the A tier. Got to make a cutoff somewhere. All right, we got Discount Aquaman in Namor. I feel like he's got a lot of strong abilities, but very middle of the pack. Like, that's the best thing I can say about him. His ult can be punishing. He has a great stasis, which can obviously avoid damage. But I feel like, again, better options out there, and he was never like a huge difference maker in a lot of the games I played or played with other people or against. Almost never saw MVP, sadly, go to Namor. If he's paired up with Luna, he's definitely better. I feel like they can maybe touch up the turrets a little bit better. That could just be me. I'm going to put him in the C tier, kind of somewhat middle of the pack. All right, moving on to Peni Parker. It's kind of tough to rank her as a tank. I feel like she's just a very good DPS, and that's my problem with her. If we were ranking her as a tank, she's not great, in my opinion, but her DPS is strong enough. I'm going to give her like a D tier. I think a good Penny can carry pretty well, but you're not doing your role that much, and if I'm in a hallway and I went into a room as Scarlet Witch, I'm okay running into Penny, right? Like, if I run into a couple other tanks, I'm like, I'm dead, or there's other situations that I'm in trouble. When it comes to Peni Parker, I didn't worry all too much, and it just felt like she's harder to grasp as well. Probably a high skill cap, but because she's more DPS focused of a tank, I'm going to put her in the D tier. All right, Soldier 76, Call of Duty gamers, we've got the Punisher. And Punisher is a tank melter, man. This guy can just pump out so much DPS. You hear his ult and you want to just run. It's very strong. His team up with Rocket makes him even better. Good mobility and just a strong kit. I mean, this is where a lot of people are going to play and feel at home at because he's your typical kind of shooter altogether. If you play Gears of War, shout out, great game back in the day. Again, you're going to feel right at home, man, with the Punisher. I'm going to give him top of A tier. I think he's one of the better DPSs in the game. Not the best of the best, but surely a great pick and can work with just about any team comp. Rocky Raccoon. God, I love this character. I thought he was saying the F word like a million times throughout the entire game. Flarkin. It's close. It's close. But Rocket is a healer, technically, and a damn good one at that. The revive is clutch. His damage is pretty good, but his healing is phenomenal as well. I think Rocket offers a ton for the team. Always loved having a Rocket on my personal team. Very hard to deal with, too. His mobility is quick, and so if the opponent is playing Rocket, it can be tough to tag him and take care of him. I feel like Rocket is amongst one of the better supports in the game. I'm going to give him an A tier as well, and probably towards the higher end. Scarlet freaking Witch. Now, this may not age perfectly, but for now, I'm going to give her an easy S tier. For a lot of reasons. It's not just that her ult is insane. Her ult is great for people that don't know what they're doing. Like, if you are like the first hour I was playing Scarlet Witch, man, I was wiped. I was getting pentakills every second because people don't know how to deal with it. As people knew that you just focus on her and take her down, the most definition of a glass cannon in the game. But her auto track is imperative to take care of certain characters like Spider-Man. All of her kit feels strong, good range, an amazing escape that you can use twice and go vertical with. Hard to keep track of her. My most played character by far and my best win rate character, best DPS. It's going to be the S tier for me. A little bit below Hela, but still one of the best DPSs in the game. And on that note, I want to just quickly say it's tough to evaluate some of these because there's like a 15% damage increase on some of the characters. It's my only main issue with the game. I want them to get rid of whatever the hell that is. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it and you can let me know. But that can make this ranking a little bit difficult. But that does take us to Spider-Man, probably the most difficult to rank today because I know he's difficult to play, and I'm sure a lot of you want him very high up for the skill cap. Even the best of the best Spider-Man that I played against he's annoying and he can do some things, but you can kind of ignore him. Like, he gets behind the enemy lines, you can do some damage, he's gone. It's impossible to completely take him down unless you have Scarlet and or sometimes, you know, if you all concentrate, you can take him down. He just felt like a nuisance, if you will, and wasn't doing a ton for the entire team as a whole. I think as we get more game modes and more opened maps, like the maps we have right now are somewhat closed in, he'll get better and better. I'm going to put him in the B tier, and I know this could be controversial. Probably a amazing Spider-Man, no pun intended, is probably towards the top, but the average is a B. All right, guys, Star-Lord. Okay, let's talk about him. Star-Lord, my God, he is insane. His abilities, where do we start? His guns are great. He has pretty much just an ability that was Reaper's ult in Overwatch. His ult is the most, in my opinion, it's the one I fear the most. I hear his ult and I know I'm dead most of the time if he chooses to target you. It lasts a long time. He's hard to target because he can fly wherever and he doesn't have to aim. Good God, is this a good character? And I think probably one of the best in the game. I'm going to have him right after Hela. So we've got Hela, then Star-Lord, and then Scarlet Witch. By far, this feels strong for the DPS rankings. Any of those, you're going to put out good damage. All right, keeping up with the DPS, we have Storm, and Storm is my second most played character. I played a lot of Storm, and so it pains me to put her in the D tier, but I think I'm going to. I like the support that she carries. I like the quick speed boost. Her damage boost is nice. She has arguably, in my opinion, one of the best ults in the game. Her ult is incredible, easy to get at least 3 kills with if you know what you're doing. Good to cap a point, good to push the payload in the final time. The only thing I don't like about her is her range. She definitely needs one other skill. Like, there's got to be something else. Yeah, she can fly forever. Great, but Hela keeps her in check and definitely keeps her modest. I popped off, actually. Like, if this was my, like, personal how I played, I put her in the A tier. For the most part, though, I think her kit is just super limited, and I'm going to put her, sadly, all the way down in the D tier. All right, Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, guys. I think arguably he's the best tank in the game. He kind of does it all. Like, good damage, hard to take down. His guard is really strong. His portals are game-breaking because it literally can lag the game. They're kind of, they got to fix the portals. They don't feel exactly right, but, you know, you can be clutch with them as well. His ult is perfect for setting up something like Scarlet Witch. I feel like games where I had Doctor Strange as the main tank, we won almost all the time, and I expect to see him in a lot of competitive lineups altogether. Strange is a great tank. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Where do you rank some of these characters? Where was I wrong? Listen, this is not the correct list. It's just my list, and I want to hear y'all's opinion on the game and who you think is great, who's bad, and or what you disagree or agree with, guys. Anyway, if you're new here, I want to welcome you to the channel, guys. Do a lot of Marvel Snap content, but doing Rivals as well. And if you want to be a part of the community and help me out a lot, subscribe down below. It's the red button. You can make it go gray, and it's one click for you. It helps me out a ton as a channel. Anyway, guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I still don't have a good outro for it. Go make Rivals out there. No, that isn't it. Is that it? It's not it.